10 signs you're not where you're meant to be yet. Sometimes we come to a point in our lives when we look at ourselves and think something feels off, something's not quite right, I'm not where I want to be, I feel that I'm supposed to be doing something else, I'm supposed to be going someplace else, I'm supposed to feel different. In today's episode, I'm going to walk you through 10 signs that mean that you probably need a change in your life. Before we dive into the episode, I just wanted to introduce myself to those of you who are new to my channel. My name is Simply Vika. I'm an artist, I'm a photographer, I'm a singer, I'm a rapper, I'm a poet, and I'm also a podcaster. I used to have my podcast, Let's Talk New York, where I talked mostly about New York and things to do in the city and tips and tricks and hacks to how to move to the big city and survive here and actually flourish and grow. And now we're moving into something else. And this podcast that you're watching right now is called Aligned as Fuck. This is episode number 2, and we're talking about growth, personal development, and how to change your life and become the person that you really want to be. So if you missed the last episode was about embracing change, and that change is inevitable. And beyond the fact that it's inevitable, change is something that we should thrive for, because we're meant to change and develop and grow, and change is growth. It's not a failure. If you missed that episode and you want to see how you feel about change and whether you need to change or not, you can go back, because this is the foundation of what this whole series of Aligned as Fuck is going to be about. But if you did watch it and you're here to know about the 10 signs that mean that you need a change, so stay with me, because we're going to start right away. The first sign is that you rely on short-term dopamine. For those of you who don't know, dopamine is the hormone that makes us happy and usually is related to food, sex, and activities that just make us happy short-term, like alcohol or drugs or cigarettes, I guess. But this is dopamine. If we are in a point in our lives when that's the only thing that makes us happy, when we are, for example, having a horrible day at work and all we're waiting for is to come home, watch TV, which is also kind of like a disconnect, short-term dopamine kind of thing. You know, watch TV, your favorite series, while eating a can of ice cream or eating a burger or smoking a cigarette and drinking a glass of wine. And that's the only thing that makes us happy. This is your first sign that probably something is misaligned, which leads me to sign number 2. The best time of your day is when it's over. Same thing, when you are going through your day and you can't wait for the day to be over, and not because you're tired, exhausted, you worked so hard and you want to relax. Because let's face it, it's okay to come home, watch TV, and eat a bucket of ice cream after a hard-ass day. That's fine. But when that's the only thing that makes you happy, and when you're dreading the day and you're thinking, oh my God, I want it to end because I am so miserable right now and I just want to get home and I just want to go to sleep because I'm tired of this day, something is not right. And this is your second sign. Now, before we move forward to number 3, I just want to make sure that you understand that if you hit number 1 and number 5 out of these signs, it doesn't necessarily mean that everything is doomed and you need a change. You need to sit with yourself and think whether all these signs kind of like fall into place and you feel 1, 2, 3, 4, 9, 10 out of them, then yeah, maybe something is wrong. But if you feel like, you have a day when you're just dreading the day, you want to go back home, or if you have like a week that you just want to eat ice cream on the couch, there are other factors to it. So try to pay attention to what I'm saying and really do the thinking with yourself, whether you feel like you're in a point in your life where things are just not quite right. So please comment below if you have any other signs that I didn't mention, or please comment below and let me know if you don't have those signs and you're absolutely happy and you're happy with your life, you're developing and you're growing, because this is what we want to do here. Number 3 would be that you wake up feeling tired. So instead of starting your day with, yeah, what a fun day, I'm going to be doing this and this and this and this, and I'm so excited about it, you wake up tired. And tiredness can be translated into physical tiredness, and it can be translated into mental tiredness. Just you wake up, you already feel exhausted, you're not excited, you're not happy, you're just kind of dragging your body to the coffee machine, pressing this fucking button, waiting for it to be over so you can have this cup of coffee for the little bit of energy that it's going to give you. And then you just drag your body to work where you don't want to see anyone, and you're just like, ugh. This is sign number 3. Obviously, again, if you didn't sleep properly and you wake up tired physically, then consider sleeping a little bit more. If it happens 1, 2, 3 days, that can happen. But if it's something that has been going on for such a long time, that's a sign. Number 4 would be maybe not as obvious because so many people fall into that, but number 4 is something that I find fascinating, because number 4 is that you stop developing yourself. You stopped working on yourself. You stopped learning. You stopped doing your hobbies, developing your skills. You stopped wanting to become better. You fell into this routine of doing the same thing every day, just whatever you know, going to the same job, watching the same TV show, cooking the same meals, talking to the same people, never trying to explore other possibilities. And I'm not talking just about like changing your job and explore other things. No, I'm talking about reading a book or developing a new skill or learning something new, going out to an event, meeting new people. You just fell into this like routine that seems just like a dead end. I feel like when you're in a very good state of mind and you're happy with who you are, you naturally want to grow. You naturally want to do more things because you're not tired, you're not exhausted, you're not waiting for the day to be over. You want to do more with yourself. You want to acquire new skills. You want to be a better person, a better version of yourself. If you notice that for a while now, you didn't have that, you didn't want to learn something new, pick up something new and explore something, go on a trip, experience something new, you might be having a symptom of, I don't want to say depression because I'm not a doctor and it's not necessarily depression, but it's a point that you reach in your life that you go into survival mode rather than living, because experiencing new things, learning new things, meeting new people, this is life, this is living. When you're in survival mode, all you do is just go to work, make the money that you need for rent, and that's it. You don't have the will to do anything else. That's why it's called survival mode, because you need the money, you go to work, you pay the rent, you eat the food, you go to sleep, and this is basically a very, survival routine. If that's where you are, even if you don't feel like you're sad or this is something that bothers you, I would recommend checking in the other signs and keep listening to this video to understand maybe it is a time for you to change something. Maybe something in your life is keeping you and holding you down rather than elevating you and making you grow in your life. I'm gonna talk a little bit more about it in number 10, so stick around because number 10 is a big one. But for now, we're gonna dive into number 5. You're thinking in your head, this is fate. I just wasn't born lucky. And I hear it often, I hear it sometimes from people, this is the cards I've been dealt with, this is what it is, I wasn't born rich, I wasn't born in this place with this and this privilege. I get it. I do. I really do. Obviously, it is so much easier to be born into this rich family where your parents can provide you the best education, the best option to go and explore different possibilities. Sometimes it's not the case. Sometimes some of us need to go work at 14, 15, 16 to help our parents sustain themselves. And I don't know how much you know me and who I am and where I come from, but I was that girl. And I was working at 14, weekends, weekdays. I started working when I was 14 to help my mom, to help the family, to just, my mom wasn't able to give me tip money, or I don't know, how does it called? Pocket money? Like I didn't necessarily have that option. So I needed to go work when I was really, really young. And so I know and I understand what it's like to come from a place that you don't really have the opportunity. But I also know And just watching my mom, first of all, and seeing how she took that situation and she flipped it because she decided enough was enough. My mom could have sat on the couch just deciding that, you know what, this is my life. I'm just gonna stay poor. I'm just gonna stay that because, God or the universe or the world decided to punish me for whatever it is. Instead, she was like, fuck that. I'm gonna become a successful woman. I wanna change that life. I am not happy with that life. And I am so grateful for that experience that I got to go through with her, because I watched her building herself up from absolutely nothing into the woman she is today, into the life that she was able to give me when she changed that reality. And she was able to do that all by herself. She didn't have the help of her parents, of her spouse or whatever. She was on her own. It was me and her. Luckily for her, she met a friend and they built an empire together. And that was amazing, which is important also. If you have a partner, it's important to understand that you're going on the same direction. But this is a completely different episode we're going to talk about later. But all I'm saying is that there is no such thing, I was born unlucky. There is no such thing, this is my life, this is the cards I was dealt with. If that's your mindset, that's where you need to start from. You need to start changing your mindset. You need to start understanding that this is your mindset that's keeping you locked in this life that you're dreading so much. Because I know people that changed their lives, besides my mom, that changed their lives completely. Just turn it around because they decided that they deserve better than this. And if they did it, you can do that too. There is no difference from a person who comes from nothing and they're able to build something from nothing. If you feel like you have nothing, I assure you that this is not true. You have something that will make you reach that point, but you need to change your mindset and understand that this is up to you. But if this is one of the signs and you feel like this is just your life and you're just gonna be poor for the rest of your life, you need to change something in your life, because this is not how we're supposed to live our lives. We're supposed to be happy, and we can be. Number 6 is related to number 5, but it's a little different. But number 6 would be, you keep saying it's okay, which means you're compromising on a life that you're not satisfied with. You keep saying, oh, it's fine, it's okay, it's nothing. What it is something. It's not nothing. If you are in a relationship where you don't feel fulfilled and you look at your partner and you're like, oh, it's okay, I'm old, we already settled, we have all these bills together, he's, but it's okay. No, you need to know that you deserve better than, it's okay. If you're at a job that you're putting so much effort in, but your bosses just don't pay you enough and you just go to work and you're like, it's fine, that's what I deserve. No, you deserve better than this. But if this is one of the signs, if this is one of the things that you're feeling like you're settling for something less, like you're just compromising on your life, this is a sign you might need a change. Number 7 would be, you always compare yourself to others. And we all do that in a way, in different spheres in our lives. Like I don't think there is a person who's not doing that sometimes to an extent. But it's important to understand what you're comparing yourself to, and whether it inspires you or makes you envy them and makes you don't like them. Let's go with an example of a relationship, right? If you and your partner are going out and you're meeting other couples and you're looking at other couples and you're like, damn, why are they so happy? I want that. Why is he's treating her so well? What is this? Probably there is a problem in your relationship. This is nothing about them. I'm happy for them that they have a good relationship, but you need to look within and understand what it is that you're lacking in your own relationship, and whether it's fixable, whether you can change that, or you need to change the entire relationship, and ask yourself whether you're compromising just because you're already in the situation, or if there's something to work on. Same thing with your career, with your other relationships that don't have to be romantic, the place you're at, just your environment, your situation. If you're coming to work and you're dreading every day, you're tired, you're exhausted, you're poor, you're underpaid for your efforts, and you're looking at your friends or like who can afford going to a bar every day and have a glass of wine because they are getting paid properly and they have this nice apartment and they're happy and they're in a good relationship and they look great and they're healthy, and you're like, why do they deserve all that, and why do I live this mediocre life? They're not the problem. You need to change what's within you and use those people to inspire you. Use your friends, your colleagues, whoever it is that you're envying at the moment, use them as an inspiration. And if you have those people in your life, instead of envy them and saying like, oh, fuck them, they're so annoying, they're so happy, and we all know this feeling when we're so miserable and we see happy people, we're like, ugh, fuck. Use them as an inspiration. Ask them, how did you get to this point? How do you do that? Ask their advice. If you have those people in your life, that's amazing. That's awesome. You have somebody who can give you a little nugget of inspiration, a little advice to how they got to where they got. Look at them with happy eyes, and don't envy them, because if you envy a person, it says much more about you than about them. Bear with me. We only have 8, 9, 10, and stick for number 10 because I have a lot to say about it. But if you're still sticking with the video, I'm glad that you're enjoying the video, and I hope this is really helpful for you guys, because the thing that I'm saying is things that I've been through and I needed to work on and I still working on. So those are not just tips that I, read. Those are things that I actually, I managed to change my life because of these things, because I knew how to recognize those signs, and I knew that I needed a change, and I knew that something is not working, and I made my life better because of it. So if you're in that place, I just want to remind you that everything is in your hands and you can change your life. And I know some people say, oh, but I'm too old, oh, I'm too poor, oh, but it's too late for me. It's never too late for you. My mom changed her life when she was 40. She didn't mind her age. She didn't think she was too old or too incapable, or she hadn't had the support that other people had. She just did it. And there are so many other people who did the same thing. So there's no such thing, it's too late. It doesn't matter if you're a parent, if you're single, if you're a student, if you're poor, if you're rich. You might be rich and unhappy. That can happen. We tend to think that like, oh, if they're good looking and in a relationship and rich and everything is working out in their lives, that's not always true. Many times that's not true. So everyone can have that in their lives. Everyone sometimes need that shift and need that change, no matter your age, your gender, your culture. You can do that. And if you need extra support, if you need to talk to someone, if you need more guidance, please DM me. You can find me on Instagram in the description box below. I do answer my Instagram messages, and I will either listen to you or give you advice or just be there for you or tell you my story. But please let me know if you need more than that, or if you want me to dive deeper into one of those topics, and I will gladly make that happen for you, because I want us to grow together. I want us to become better together, and I know that it's possible. But let's jump back to our list. We are at number 8, and number 8 would be you're forcing things that you know that are not working anymore. Back to this old ass annoying relationship, or this dreadful job, or this weird friendship that you're having, or this whatever this is. If it feels like it's just not it anymore, and you're trying and everything is so hard and nothing is working, and no matter what you do, things are not changing, shift. It's okay to change. And again, if you missed my first episode of this podcast, Aligned as Fuck, the first episode was exactly about that, about shifting, about the fact that it's okay to change. And it doesn't matter how long you've been in this relationship and how many years you work at the job. If you worked in a job for 20 years and you couldn't get that promotion, and your boss is just not giving you this promotion, move on. Unless you want to stay in that job until your pension or whatever, but you're allowed to change your mind. You're allowed to move on. Again, I will link the card right here, or here, or here, or here, anywhere. But click that video and inspire yourself that it's okay to change, especially if you felt like you connected with all these things that I was talking about until now. Definitely watch that video, and definitely watch the next video, because the next video is going to be about specific prompts and exercises of finding what it is that you need to do and starting the shift, starting the change. Start this ball rolling, because change is difficult and it's not easy, and it takes time and it takes some thought, and I will guide you through it in our next episode. But keep listening, because we're diving into number 9. Again, if you're still here, please like the channel and consider subscribing, because it helps me grow and I enjoy making those videos. And this is just a confirmation for me that this is working and you guys enjoying this content. So please like, subscribe, comment below. I will appreciate that deeply. And with no further ado, I hope that's how you say it, we dive into number 9. Number 9 is you avoid stillness. This is my favorite one, probably because this is me. This is me. I avoid stillness all the time for 2 reasons. One, I'm super hyper. I'm hyperactive. I need to be, even the way that I'm moving, I'm sure you notice that I'm always like, blah, 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 blah. I need to move constantly. I need to always be on the move, and I thrive in chaos. This is just my personality. And I think that the fact that I am hyper and that I'm always on the move, and that I know that I do my best when I have so many things to do, it made me afraid of stillness, because I feel like when I'm still, too many thoughts are coming to mind and I become sluggish and I lose the momentum. So this is something I'm dealing with, because even if I'm the happiest, even if I'm very happy in a really good place, the moment I have some stillness in my life, that I have a little bit of like pause, I lose myself. So that sign, the number 9, is a little bit tricky, because if you are like me, you might want to avoid stillness just to stay productive and busy and, all that. But at the same time, when I'm having bad moments, I know how to recognize the difference when I avoid stillness, because I'm afraid of it. And if you're the kind of person that you keep yourself busy and you keep yourself running around with friends to bars, parties, getting drunk, getting wasted, jumping from person to person, always, just never want to be home alone, never want to like sit and think, you just like work, party, getting drunk, sleep, wake up, work, get drunk, all that. Try to ask yourself why you're so afraid of this quiet. Why is it so inconvenient for you? Is it because it's going to bring a little bit of this thought of, what am I doing with my life? What is happening? What is that? Because this is an important question to ask. And those of you who are going through therapy, maybe this is something which I recommend, by the way, but maybe it's something that you can talk about with your therapist and explore why you're afraid of being alone, being at home, being almost like bored, being still. Something that helped me is that I started meditating and I started embracing the stillness. I learned how to be okay with the silence, with the stillness. It was hard in the beginning. My first meditation, I was like, when does it end? When does it end? And now it's my happy place. I'm going to meditate and I get to think about, not even think, but like live in a different world. Not even different, but kind of like I do a lot of manifestation meditation. So I basically just, imagining myself and my life to where I want it to be. I'm manifesting the future that I want to have. Not always. Sometimes I'm just breathing. Sometimes thoughts are coming and going and I'm trying to stay still. But those meditations really help me to embrace the quiet, the stillness, the alone time. So I would definitely recommend you to explore that possibility. And if you're the kind of person that just can't stay still and alone, and you don't want to be alone at home, you don't want to be in quiet, the TV is always working, music is always working, you're kind of afraid of the silence with yourself. Maybe try and see why. Ask yourself the why, which is also a part of the previous episode that I did, asking the why. It's such an important question sometimes. Which brings me to number 10. As I promised you, this is a big one. This is one that I find it so important. This one point, and I think this one point is the one that ties everything together, because if some of it is like yes, some of it is a no from the list I'm talking about, I'm talking about the list. If you answer, until now we had like 9 things, and if 5 or 4 or 6 of these 9 you're like, yeah, I'm not sure, maybe, I don't know, this last point, number 10, is the one that's gonna tie it up for you all together, and I think kind of like put a pin in it and kind of like make you understand whether you really need a change or maybe you're just having a little hard time and it will pass. And number 10 is you stop dreaming. Guys, I can't stress it enough how important it is to always keep growing, to always keep exploring new possibilities, new opportunities, planning for the future, and just being excited about it. And I think when you stop dreaming and it's almost like losing hope for the future, because you don't have any vision of yourself in the future. You just live every day with the same routine, with the same life. You don't have any future plans. No matter where you are in your life, even if you're freaking Elon Musk or Rihanna or whoever you are in your life, there is always room for growth and development and dreaming of the future. You don't just stop. But if you did stop, if you stop being excited about the future, if you stop dreaming, if you stop aiming higher, this is a very important point, the most important point in all this list, because you're stuck and you don't see a potential for a better future. And this is the point in which you're supposed to sit down and understand why you don't see a better future, why you gave up on yourself. Because there is no reason ever to give up on yourself. There is always a solution to the point that you're at right now. And even, like I said, even the biggest people in the world, they always grow, they always develop new things, they always learn new things. If you think about it, the richest, most successful people in the world, those are the ones to read the most books. They are the ones to get richer and richer because they always find new possibilities and opportunities, new investment opportunities, new businesses they want to develop, new things that they're like, you know what, I have this hobby, let me monetize it. I know what you're going to say, yeah, but they're rich, so it's so easy. Okay, maybe you're right. Maybe it is easier for the rich to become richer. But that's not the point right now. The point is that they're still developing themselves. They're not just stopping and saying, you know what, I have all these millions, so I think I'm just gonna stop learning. No, they keep doing things. And I know, again, trust me, I understand the frustration of like you sitting and listening to it and you're like, but I don't even have a savings account. I get it and I understand it. And we're gonna talk about it on this channel later in the later episodes. We're gonna talk about investments, and I'm not a pro at all, just started myself. But I wanna open you this world because I realized that I learned about it myself, and a month ago I was the person to think me investing, fuck no. What am I understanding in investment? I have no idea in investing. No, I'm not there. And now I'm like, oh, it was possible all this time. Why didn't I start sooner? Why didn't I start 10 years ago? I could have had a lot until now. So I want to open you this possibility and this opportunity, and just kind of like understanding that even if you don't have a savings account, you can still invest. But that's not the point. This is off the video. I'm sorry, this is off topic completely, but I'm just very, very excited about it. And like I said, this is aligned as fuck. So we're going to talk about personal growth and about getting better and about investing in yourself and becoming the better version of yourself. So that being said, I just want to make sure that you know that no matter where you at in your life, you need to want to do more, to dream bigger, to become better. And if this is something you're not feeling at the moment, you need to change something. You need to shift something. You need to find what it is that's dragging you down, that's keeping you down. What it is that's depressing your mood and making you this passive survival mode person. Because this is not where you're supposed to be in your life. And I'm here to remind you that you can make your life better. You can become better. You can grow. You can become rich. You can have your own business. You can monetize your skills. You can have a job you absolutely love. You can be in a relationship that you deserve. You can, but you need to believe in yourself and you need to find out what it is that's dragging you down and change that. And if you like that video and you connected to some of these points and you think, you know what, I do need the change. Even if you didn't decide yet and you want to think a little bit about it, you are in luck. Because the next episode in 2 weeks, that's exactly what we're gonna do. We're gonna talk about, okay, I understand that I need to change, but how do I do that? It's extremely difficult and scary, and where do I even start? I'm here to walk you through it, and I'm gonna talk exactly about that. So again, like, subscribe, comment below. Thank you for listening, and stay tuned for the episode in 2 weeks because we're gonna dive deeper into changing your life and becoming a better person. I was Vika. Thank you for watching and have a great rest of your week.